Hello, for those of you who don't remember, my name is Adam McLean, and this is my informative presentation. So the timeline for this presentation actually worked out perfectly. I was visiting the SIA trade show in Denver. For those of you that don't know, that is the Snow Sports Industry America trade show. It's basically a trade show of all the ski, snowboard, and any other snow sport manufacturers all get together, kind of show next year's product to buyers, that kind of thing. So while I was there, I kind of met up with a former coworker of mine, Ryan Rubino, who is one of the buyers at the Ski Rack in Burlington, Vermont. He's in charge of doing all the buying and purchasing of ski equipment like skis, bindings, boots, as well as accessories like goggles, that kind of thing. He also does a lot of the buying for car racks as well. So while I was there, I kind of was noticing his use of communication skills even before the assignment had been given. So when the assignment was given, it was really a no-brainer for me for who I was going to choose to interview. When we got into the interview, the thing I really wanted to get into first was kind of his use of communication technologies, because I think that's really one of the things that he excels at the most. So kind of what I got from Ryan, from the communication technologies aspect, he really uses a lot of the social media stuff really well, and it's really one of the ways that he communicates with the external audiences really well. He's always kind of posting things of not only of himself skiing, kind of building his own credibility for some of the character appeals that we kind of talked about, but also showing videos or footage of him fitting boots for the pros, things like that. Just really things that are kind of growing the business, building an audience, building his credibility, just stuff that he's really excellent with there. He does also use a bit of some other communication technologies when dealing with internal audiences. One of the things that I found was that he said that within the ski rack there are kind of two major forms of emails that they use. Their POS system, their point of sale system that they use, actually has an email system built into it, and he said that's really a great area to use little quick emails. Kind of his example would be, if he was writing an email to all the sales staff that would say, hey, there's a new ski on the wall, go check it out, let me know if you have any questions. That would be something that he would use this POS system email for. But he would also use kind of more of a traditional email format for stuff that would go into a little bit more depth. Things like emails with bosses talking about budgetary concerns, if he can increase his budget, what he can spend his budget on, that kind of thing. Get into the more detailed email sources. Ryan does also use a lot of persuasive techniques when talking with the bosses and things like that. He's found that using the kind of character appeal that he's been building, and having all that credibility as a skier and as someone who's really involved with the ski industry has really helped him to work with the bosses, the people that are in control of the budgets that he is allowed to use. And so he really uses those character appeals, as well as some of the emotional, logical appeals, to really kind of get what he needs done. He does also tend to use these kind of persuasive presentation formats a lot when working with customers, and this is kind of where he's found that these techniques have really kind of helped him kind of the most, at least in the persuasive sense. What he's found is that having the character appeal, as well as kind of like focusing on an emotional appeal really help with sales, because he's able to show customers that he really knows what he's talking about. So he can really show through the emotional appeals that he's really concerned with getting the customers exactly what they want for their needs. And one of the focuses of Ryan, and really actually anyone who does any work on the sales floor at the ski rack, is the focus on kind of informing customers and kind of giving them the information they need to make the correct purchase, rather than just trying to kind of outright sell them stuff. So and it really helps, I think, to kind of make them feel comfortable, and kind of really helps to get those return customers. Uh, so that's a little bit of the presentation for customers that Ryan does, but he also does a little bit of it when dealing with kind of ski manufacturers. And a lot of this you would think would just be kind of only logical sense, seeing as they're talking about, how much of a certain product you need to buy in order to get certain discounts, or how much you need to buy in order to be approved as a dealer, that kind of thing, which is really a lot more of the logical sense. But he also does a lot of the kind of emotional and character stuff with that as well, because he's actually a really big influence on the feedback that goes to ski manufacturers, that's going to kind of help them develop products for the future. And it's really, I would say the character appeal is kind of one of the things that is most useful to Ryan in that, because ski manufacturers and representatives will really take the feedback that he's giving them, knowing that, not only is he working with a lot of the people who are buying skis, but he's also out there on the hill doing a lot of the testing and all that stuff himself. And so it really, the stuff that he says to manufacturers really goes into what comes out as a product for the next year, or several years down the line. So what I think I've really gained kind of the most from this interview with Ryan is just kind of seeing that he uses really a wide range of kind of all of the communication skills and tools that we've been learning about in this class. So if there's anyone else in the snow sport industry that's looking to learn a little bit, maybe next time you're at SIA, you can track down Ryan Rubino and kind of talk to him about some of the skills he has in his communication toolbox. Thank you.